Greetings, greetings, greetings. You're now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, know nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. We always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the vault, episode 739. Playing not to lose versus playing to win. Definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. We always appreciate it. Thank everybody. This is one of those episodes where we just got to go ahead and talk about the truth. Because the truth gonna set you free. We have people come to the vault all the time talking about generational wealth. Don't even know the number that they call generational wealth. How you gonna say you want generational wealth and don't know what that number is? That's how you know you're not playing to win. When you become the creator of your family estate, when you become first gen, second gen, or whatever contribution, you know how much you're looking to contribute. You know how much you're looking to earn. You know what generational wealth looks like. We just gotta go ahead and set the record straight. See, it's a lot of people playing not to lose. They don't want to lose their friends. They don't want to lose their family members. They don't want to lose social status. They don't want to lose. They don't want to lose money right now. They don't want to lose time with their family right now. They're playing not to lose. If I miss these years right now, Trust Christian, when am I gonna get them back? You can't get time back, Trust Christian. You're right. So they're playing not to lose. I don't want my family to look down on me, Trust Christian, because I was pursuing, business and generational wealth. I was traveling. I was building businesses. I was building empires. We sit in a room with people all the time, ourselves included. Oh, Trust Christian, I gotta make sure that I celebrate this holiday. I gotta make sure that I celebrate this family birthday, and this family this, and this family that. So they plan not to lose. They want to save face. Oh, Trust Christian, how could you say something like that? First of all, when you have a business sometimes, you might not make every birthday. That's just the bottom line. So the people that want to hop over into the entrepreneurship section, people that want to hop over into the trustee section, oh, I'm hopping over into the trustee section, Trust Christian in the vault, but somehow they're playing not to lose. Oh, Trust Christian, I gotta be at my kid's graduation. We're not saying miss your kid's graduation, but at the end of the day, we have been around mentors. They've missed their child's graduation. Oh man, there's no way. They're playing to win. Some people say, "Oh, what does the wins look like? The wins, you're not there. You're not here. What does the wins look like?" That's what it's gonna come down to. What do the W's look like for you? But we get in front of people and we say, "Hey, what do you got going on? What's your exit look like?" Don't have an idea of what an exit looks like. They're not playing to win. They're playing not to lose. Why? Because they don't want to give you a definitive. They don't if they're going to buy or sell the company, which by default, if they don't sell it, they bought it. So you bought yourself a CEO position. You bought yourself a working position where you have to work in the company because you're not planning on selling it. Playing not to lose. Oh, I'm not going to create a timeline on the trustee stuff because I don't want to do that. If I do that, that means that I got to be accountable. Then I got to play only to win. Correct? Because if you don't play to win, by default, you're playing not to lose. What does that mean? Oh, George Christian, I don't got the money right now. Think about every time you use that excuse. Y'all don't want to hear that it's an excuse. How are you going to not have the money to be generational wealthy? That's an asinine thought process. But because no one has shared it with you, you think it's okay to say, well, I don't have the money to show up to this event. I don't have the money to do this. That's not how it works. You got to figure it out. You got to figure it out every single time. You got to figure out how to get around wealthy people. People try to say, "Oh man, Trust Christian, I'm wealthy. I'm wealthy. I'm generational wealth. I'm trying to pass." How are you gonna say you trying to pass along something from one generation to the next, and you don't know one other person that's doing that? You don't even have them in your phone. You don't have. You gotta have them in your phone. You gotta be able to call them. You gotta be able to talk to them. Playing not to lose. Oh man, I'm gonna be modest in everything I do. Now, granted, we got good mentors. We've had great mentors, and they have good sayings for us. But one of them that they share with us is perception is reality. If people think that you don't need the money, they're actually trying to give you the money. But when you think you need, when you look like you need it, that's when the story's different. That's just the bottom line. You gotta look like money dang near to not have to be looked at as, oh man, this guy needs it. But how many people are willing to talk big? Oh, you don't want to talk big? That's arrogant, Charles Christian. Then when we got in the room, we found out recently, yeah, that talking big stuff gonna serve you. Why? Because if you don't talk big, you don't. If if you don't talk big, people aren't even gonna take you serious. Some people say, "Oh no, Trust Christian, that's not how it works. I'm working in the poverty environments. That's how it is." Yeah, that's not how it is in the wealthy environments. Wealthy environments, it's all about, hey, what value, extraordinary value, are you bringing to the table? Do you not need this, or do you need this? Are you thinking big, or are you thinking small? No one's trying to get small returns in these environments in the first place. So that's kind of how you end up seeing, like, okay, well, we're not playing to win. We're playing not to lose. Oh, I'm not going to lose you money. This which I don't want to know here. So, Trust Christian, how does playing not to lose look? You asking for less than $5 million from a financial institution. If your idea is not more, if you don't need more than $5 million, y'all don't even want to know. We're sitting here talking to financial institutions every day. Y'all don't even want to know. Some of them, they won't even entertain you if you're not asking for $10 million. That's the bottom line. These people are flush with cash. Oh man, Trust Christian, for real. There are wealthy people that are flush with cash, but they don't want to make an investment that's less than $10 million. They could be your friend. They flush with cash, but they don't want to lose. Why even put up $1 million? What am I going to get back? When am I going to get it back? That's all. That's the questions that are being asked. What do you mean? Oh, Trust Christian. I want to be wealthy. You asking for? I'm asking for $100,000. Yeah, right. I'm asking for $20,000. Yeah, right. Oh, I'm asking for $1 million. That's like the worst number to ask for. Why? Because it's the cliche number. How much money you need? I need about $1 million. I ain't trying to ask for too much more than a million. I ain't gonna ask for 3 to 5. Because if I ask for too much, then I look crazy. No, you look like you actually have some confidence in yourself, and you actually have a little bit of money that you know. Okay, if something were to go wrong, I still got some extra money out of the money you guys gave me to figure it out. Instead of, oh man, I burnt through all the money. Now I don't have any money, and that's that. No, playing not to lose. But playing to win says, oh, I'm asking for more money than I need. I'm asking for more money than I want. That's the part people don't want to hear. Oh, but I'm building generational wealth. Ain't nobody. They ain't building no generational wealth. You say, oh, Church Christian, what does it look like to play to win? Play to win is you betting on yourself. You strike it out. You ain't gonna be no generational wealther with no job. That's just the bottom line. They want to hear this. Get this. They want to hear this googly moogly. They want to sit here and have baby talk over the internet. Oh yeah, you're gonna be wealthy trading stocks and as working a job. No, you're not. You don't know anybody that's done that. And it's not going to happen. Why? Because that's not the way wealth is built. Wealth is built after selling and building businesses. Most of the people on the internet don't want to hear that. Why? Because they don't want to build a business. They don't know how to build a business. They don't know how to buy a business. They don't know how to sell a business. They don't know how to manage a business. They're done. So for the ones of you all that want to strike it rich, as they say, build generational wealth, the mentors told us it's not even going to happen in one transaction. Now, some people are gonna try to get rich in one transaction. Go ahead, but our mentors have trained us. Trust Christian, it's gonna take a little bit of time. You got to put yourself in a position where you're able to do consecutive, marginal increase jumps in your net worth. See, the internet don't talk about net worth. Why? Because they're baroque. They don't talk about net worth. They try to tell you how much money somebody making every year, and half the damn money's going to taxes. Oh, these YouTubers, these internet guys, they're making a lot of money, just like an athlete, right? Right, but they're still paying taxes because they're doing it out of a social. They're doing it out of their name. Oh, but he got an LLC. Yeah, but they're internet streamers. How much? You don't have a bunch of employees. Sure, you got a few employees. You don't have 50. You said you made over $1 million. You made over $2 million. Your overhead's low. So they're getting taxed. Oh no, Trust Christian. Yeah, playing not to lose though. Oh, Trust Christian, I ain't trying to make more money in my job, because if I do, I got to pay more in taxes. I'm not trying to make more as an entrepreneur, I got to pay more in taxes. That's playing not to lose. Wealthy people understand, oh man, we'll just go ahead and figure out how to get around the right wealthy people that can help us figure out the law, because we understand that the taxes are the law. So if you understand the law, do you understand that it's actually a legal thing to minimize your liabilities? But oh no, Trust Christian, we're going to run around in stupor and ignorance and say, oh yeah, it's illegal to lower your tax liability if you're wealthy. Those people are wrong. Right, but you didn't study the law. You didn't study it all, but you want to condemn it. And for the ones of y'all to say, you know what, I know that that's the case, you got to get away from people that have this stinking thinking. Otherwise, it's going to infect you. Why? Because you got to be focused on lowering your liability the entire time. It's not just because you get some money now you got to lower the liability. You're supposed to be thinking about that the whole entire time. George Christian, we have trustees getting the program when they're 18, trustees getting at 24, trustees getting at 25, trustees getting at 27, trustees getting under 30, trustees get under 40. Why? Because they understand it's not about when they get the money, it's about being prepared. So if you're prepared, then you are playing to win. Here's playing to win. We were talking to one of the trustees earlier today. Trustee's like, oh yeah, I gotta build out the trust. I gotta build out the trust. We're like, okay, this is what the mentor shared with us. You gotta find lawyers that you can't afford and accountants that you can't afford. Now, this advice we're just gonna go ahead and say this isn't for everybody at this point. We figured it out. There are some trustees that think they're gonna operate in a middle class with a trust, which is weird. How are you gonna operate in the middle class with a trust? Please explain that. How you gonna operate in the middle class with a trust when a trust is a tool for generational wealth? But you in the middle class. You associate yourself with the middle class. The people that are literally in the middle. They're not at the top, right? Because they don't utilize trust. The people at the top utilize trust. We can actually say that. So the people in the middle, they want to sit and say, "Oh yeah, I'm in the middle class," right? So that means you're not having generational wealth, and somehow you gotta trust. So you see the mindset? It's a mindset, ladies and gentlemen. What's your mindset? Oh man, Trust Christian, I'm trying to protect my assets. I'm trying to protect my assets. What asset? Your greatest asset is you. So how are you working a job? Oh man, Trust Christian, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're saying. You haven't been in my position. You don't know anything about that. No. What you don't want to hear is the family estate has to bet on you and play to win. The family estate may go into debt so they can actually get the insurance on you so they can have a system going on. They got to invest in your education because that's the system that's going on. But oh no, Trust Christian, no that we ain't doing that. We ain't about to go into debt for my education or my family estate education. We ain't about to do that. But how many people in the public they went into debt for a public job? Playing not to lose. Oh man, Trust Christian, I'm not gonna set no goals this year. I'm not gonna set no goals for my business. We get online with an entrepreneur. How much money you plan on making this month? Oh man, I'm just trying to make a lot of money. Yeah, that's called a loser. That's playing not to win. How do you? First of all, in business, it's like building a house. How you gonna build a house and you don't have the architecture? You at least supposed to know what the frame and the foundation is supposed to look like, what the base is supposed to look like. How is the business going to be self-sustaining if it doesn't have any income coming in, if it doesn't have a clear defined goal of what is going to keep the business afloat and keep the trustee afloat in the trust? How much does it cost for you to be a trustee every year? For you to, supposedly live in the house, supposedly ride around in the car that the trust is owning, that the trust pays for? Do you know how much that costs? Trustees, they playing not to lose. Yeah, Dang, why would I build a business trust, Christian? I don't want to lose. I like it safe. Trust, Christian, I can't plan my schedule out. What? You don't plan your schedule out. You don't plan for success. You don't plan for victory. You don't plan to win. Oh, Trust Christian, you don't know how hard it is. We do know how hard it is. If you went through public school, that's why it's so hard. Because public school didn't prepare you to basically set goals and achieve goals in your lifetime. Oh, no, Trust Christian, that's not the case. That's not the case. Well, you're actually wrong. The school system did train you. You have midterms if you went through college. If you went through college, you went through finals. The only difference is people gave you your set of goals. They gave you the handbook and you had to follow directions again. Now when you get out in the real world in trustee training, now you actually have to plan the schedule for the family estate. What is the schedule for the family estate? Are you having family meetings? Oh, Trust Christian, we got family meetings. Are you recording the family meetings? Are you doing after action reports? Are you getting better? Are you guys, once again, going out and expanding the family network with other wealthy people? Don't give us none of that. Oh, yeah, Trust Christian, I went around some other people locally, and they job oriented people too. What are you talking about? Where are these other wealthy people at that you associate with? Oh, I'm gonna live in a trust privately. Yeah, you're gonna die in a trust privately. And no one's gonna know how to manage it. You're not gonna have any relationships on who's in trusteeship. Why? Because you're not associating. We do our best to overemphasize this at the vault, but somehow people think they gonna get around it. Oh no, Trust Christian, you don't know. I'm gonna get around it. No, you're not. We know people that pass away all the time, and they don't have a successor trustee. They don't have someone that can back them up as a trustee in trusteeship. That's just the facts. You got the next person, the lawyer or whoever, just sitting on the estate. They didn't even make sure that it was divvied up amongst the heirs. The heirs don't even know how to actually come before the estate and say, hey, this is our claim to the estate. You don't even know that. You're going to give your children the estate, but you got a lawyer that's going to actually get a stand in place, and you don't even know how to enforce that the lawyer needs to do their job. You think the lawyer going to do their job just because you passed away? You think it's that easy? Playing not to lose. That's lack of association. Playing not to lose. We don't have family standards. We don't have a how much we're supposed to put into the family estate every single month as a savings program for one of us, for many of us. It's not a standard. It's not a mandatory. It's not a mandate on the family estate. It's just googly moogly out here. Oh man, Trust Christian, I'm not trying to make my family members put in money. You know what I mean? That they don't really even know what's going on. Playing not to lose. Oh yeah, Trust Christian, we gonna get to the trust stuff. We gonna get to it at one point. If you're 50 and up, we gonna get to it at one point. We gonna get to it. Yeah, we need to get on that, Trust Christian. We gotta get on to it. What are you doing? What are you doing? When are you gonna get to it? When are you gonna transfer the assets? Oh man, it takes multiple days. It actually took less than a week. Most of the people that we've consulted with over the past 5 years, most of them could transfer their entire estate in 5 days, 5 business days. How? They just got to contact the right people, send the right notices off, file the right documents, they be good to go. Oh, I got a car. I got 2 cars. I got 3 cars. Oh, I got 4 houses or something like that. I got some land. Okay, great. How hard is it to title the land over? You want to know why it's so hard? Because you're around people that got a job and that's not what their focus is. Because if you're around entrepreneurs and trustees, they're going to share with you asset protection comes from asset separation. So you clearly will be separating the assets from yourself and you wouldn't be delaying on it. But for some odd reason, why do people delay? Because of their programming, because of their public school education. Oh man, Trust Christian, I got to take my time. I got to do it perfectly. What are you talking about? I don't want to make a mistake as a trustee. That's playing not to lose mentality. What do you mean you don't want to make a mistake as a trustee? Every great trustee has made a mistake. Who are you? Oh, I ain't trying to make a mistake, trust Christian and the trust stuff, cause I'm trying to do it all right. And at the same time, many ain't doing nothing. See, this is what the mentor warned us about. That, oh yeah, most people don't need it because they don't have $1 million. Then you don't want to know most of the people that we dealt with that come through trustee training, and then people that we talk to outside, they'll be like, oh yeah, if you don't have $10 million, you don't need to be in that type of setup. They literally say this to us. So if you don't have $10 million, then you should quit. You shouldn't even be thinking about trusteeship. You shouldn't even be thinking about it. But that's unfortunate that people would say something like that to someone. Why? Man, y'all don't even know how challenging it is to get to $10 million. And think about it, if you pay taxes all the way up, then you already have made 10 million. You just didn't have it in your hands because you gave away in taxes. So how do you progress if you taking you longer to get somewhere because you're not sticking to the system? Then once you get there, you say, "Oh man, this is all I had to change." Yep. Not only that, you gotta get around the right people. We were. It's interesting. Playing not to lose to us looks like at the vault where people aren't persistent in their follow up. We see so many people come before the vault. They'll be like, "Oh, trust Christian, I want to be generational wealthy," but they're not persistent. They don't even want to know what that word means. They don't even want to be persistent. Why would I be persistent, trust Christian in the vault? Then that means I'm gonna look like I'm begging for something. No, it just looks like you're persistent. That's what the word is actually called. It's not begging, it's persistent. Do you hear the difference? Oh man, trust Christian, I'm not trying to beg for no money. I'm not begging for nothing. That's why they playing not to lose. It actually looks like begging. Persistence looks like begging. In the wealthy environments, it's called persistence. In the poor environments, middle class environments, broke environments, they call it begging. Oh, I don't want to beg for money. I don't want to ask anybody for money. In the wealthy environments, it's just being persistent. You learn how to ask for something multiple ways. For real, you don't even want to hear it like that. Why? Because then you will learn that most of the time you quit on your dreams. You didn't pursue it with persistence. People pursued it with, oh man, I don't want to look like I'm begging for something. Okay, all you're doing is hurting yourself. Playing not to lose. Oh man, trust Christian, it's so hard to get up every day and be the best version of myself. It's so hard to get up every day, have a standard, and have non-negotiable activities and do them. Because I get pulled in different directions by people that are broke. Are you serious? Y'all want to go there? You getting pulled in multiple directions by people that aren't even wealthier than you. Does that make any sense? But you supposed to be generational wealth. Oh man, generational wealth, trust Christian. I want to be generational wealthy. I already know it. I'm going to the top. How? You got people in your life that are pulling you, distracting you from doing the non-negotiable activities that you got to do on a daily basis to ensure your generational wealth. See, we're gonna go ahead and share with y'all what it looks like. Playing not to lose is about how much money you make. Playing to win is about how much money you keep. Y'all want to hear that again? Playing not to lose looks like you focusing on how much money you make. That's the playing not to lose mentality. If you make more money, trust Christian, then you gonna be fine. You can keep up with inflation. You can do this. You can do that. Well, that's not how we think in wealthy environments. We think it's about how much you keep. That's your net worth. Oh man, you don't want to save up Federal Reserve notes. So how do people condemn wealthy people for holding on to cash? What do you think they holding on to? Credit cards? They're holding on to cash. It's just sometimes in a business. It's sometimes in a stock. These are liquid things that you can liquidate. Oh, I got it in a house. Okay, some people got it in art. Okay, some people got it in cars that are antiques. That's how you put the money in even more of a illiquid position. Liquid is just cash. Oh man, trust Christian, I'm not gonna hold on to cash. What are you holding on to then? I'll get some art. Okay, so if the art burns, is it worth anything? If you lose the art, is it worth anything? Here you go. If you got insurance on it, then you understand you're playing to win. Then you're playing to win, not playing not to lose. Oh man, I'm gonna just go ahead and cut this corner. I'm not gonna save this money in cash. I'm gonna just get it in art, but I'm not gonna insure it because I'm not gonna take the extra step. Playing not to lose. Oh man, Trust Christian, I'm not gonna dress the part. We got this one. We got on Trustee about this today. What you think? You think you better? You think you bigger than the private wealth system? You think you bigger than the private wealth system, huh? You not gonna dress the part, huh? Okay. Every sport has a uniform. Private wealth has a uniform. That's just the facts. Oh no, Trust Christian, it don't look that way. Okay. It don't look that way. Okay. So many try to say, "Oh yeah, I'm going generational wealth." The mentors gave us very easy code to follow. They told us how to dress. They trained us how to speak. They trained us to go to what classes. They trained us to what sports to play. Oh no, Trust Christian. What do you mean? We sat in the meetings with the mentor. The mentor said, "Oh yeah, Trust Christian. What's the number one sport in the world?" We didn't know. He said golf. Can you think about it? They got golf courses all around the world. How many people playing golf though? Oh, I don't want to play no golf. I'm not liking that stinking game. I'm not putting nothing. I'm not putting no shoes on. I'm not playing no golf. I don't want to play any golf. I don't think about golf. There's no where's the golf course at? How far is the golf course? Okay, you don't have to play golf. No one's inviting you because you're not invited. But for the ones of us that understand, oh man, I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm going to be out on the golf course and I'm actually going to play golf. Exactly. One of the more newer sports that have what you would call new money in it. It's not old money, it's some old money in it, but more new money is the pickleball stuff. That's the one that we see, not even just the racket. What's the other one called? Padel. Padel and the pickleball stuff. Oh man, they build these courses all around the world. But they ain't got more than that. They ain't got more golf courses. They ain't got more than golf courses around the world. They don't have more pickleball courses than golf courses in the world. But people want to go pick up pickleball. New money mentality. Oh, I'm gonna pick up pickleball. It's easier. It reminds me of tennis. It reminds me that I could wear sneakers and I could be sweaty and go back and forth and play pickleball. Okay, but are you on the golf course with old money? You on the golf course where somebody say, yeah, don't bring me an idea less than $10 million and I'll fund you? Playing not to lose. Oh man, I'm gonna just go get me a little multi-unit. I'm gonna go get me a little small residential property. Try to flip that first. When we talk to trustees, we know trustees jump straight out the gate and went to multi-units. $5 million loans, $10 million loans, $30 million loans. Is it that real? 100%. I'm not. I don't know how to do all of that. I don't know how to get all of that. Yeah, okay. You can learn it. It's all learnable. What are you? Oh, is playing not to lose? Trust Christian, I don't read no books. Now this is the funniest thing on the planet. Trust Christian, we make jokes back in the day. Oh yeah, we don't really like reading books. We like books with big pictures in it, magazines, stuff like that. Yeah, but somehow Trust Christian still to this day reads a book a month from billionaires and wealthy people. How is it that trust? Because Trust Christian has the habit. You gotta study the environment. Oh, Trust Christian, I'm gonna be wealthy. I'm gonna be generational wealthy. I'm gonna build some business that's wild. How you gonna build something you don't have no examples? You got examples to go to work. You got examples to trade time for money, correct? Correct. That's the difference. Playing not to lose versus playing to win. We did our best to come before people in this episode that are best to share, what we see as, you know, what people would consider what it looks like. Playing not to lose versus playing to win. Because a lot of trustees, they say, oh man, Trust Christian, I don't want to feel bad for doing what I got to do. Doing what my intuition's telling me to do. Doing what the universe is telling me to do. Because my old programming, my old family, my old friends, they're all telling me, oh man, all you do is think about money. All of a sudden, you some generational wealth or some greedy person. That's what they say about every champion. So we already know most people aren't able to stand up to that. They're not going to be generational wealth. They afraid of what people going to say. They don't want to admit that sometimes. Trustees don't want to admit that sometimes, but you got to admit it. That's just the bottom line. I don't want to look like that, Trust Christian in the vault. Trust Christian in the vault. I don't want to look like that. We were thinking about this individual. His name is Jeremiah G. Jeremiah G. Hamilton. Now this is a gentleman that was one of the first African indigenous descent black millionaires in New York. And this was done in the 1800s. He was a millionaire. Here we go. Gonna put him in the chat for y'all. Cause so many, they don't really get it. They think, oh man, my story's gonna be perfect. We were sitting over here reading over Jeremiah's story. Jeremiah's story looked like he was committed to fraud. Looked like he was committed to all types of stuff. But somehow, when you look at how much money supposedly he made in the 1800s, this is when so-called African indigenous descent people were slaves. Before the civil rights. Before civil rights, 1840. Before the Civil War. What are people talking about, man? I don't want my story to look bad. That's all it is. They want their story to look good. I don't want people to think that I'm not a bad person, Trust Christian Revolt. I don't want people to think that I filed bankruptcy. Donald Trump, he filed for bankruptcy 6 times, so he's a bad businessman. When somebody knows the bankruptcy laws for the country, what are you talking about? How's bankruptcy bad? Is bankruptcy bad? Can you file bankruptcy more than once? Clearly it ain't bad. You could do it more than once. Oh man, but Donald Trump, he filed bankruptcy 6 times. You ain't even filed once. Because you don't know business. You think it's personal. Oh man, my personal credit score is going to be affected by that. Really? Playing not to lose. Instead of playing to win. Each and every single day. In every single way. Making it a point to play for yourself and for your family. Is it that challenging, Trust Christian involved? Nah, it's not challenging. Most aren't going to do it. Why? Because they ain't been programmed. They don't have the program running in their head to do something for themselves, to strike out on their own, and to do something for themselves and do it consistently every single day. When it comes to even associating, remember, these are programs that you have to run in your head. You have to run programs. The program for you to associate. The program is a program. Oh no, Trust Christian. I'm not gonna have the winning program. I'm gonna have the play not to lose program. I'm not a risk manager. I don't know how to evaluate risk. We know you don't. We know you don't. But when are you gonna learn? When are you gonna learn how to evaluate risk? When are you gonna learn to evaluate it properly? That's what it comes down to, Trust Christian involved. Oh man, trust Christian. Man, ain't no wealthy people going to just talk to me and tell me how to get wealthy. Uh, and not only that, we actually look back and say, man, think about all the relationships that we have, and think about, hey man, y'all don't even want to know how many wealthy people will help you out. That's the wildest part about it. It's the most funniest thing on the planet. Why? Because we associate with other wealthy people, and we're very aware of. Think about it. Somebody that's successful understands that sometimes their first generational wealth, maybe, and sometimes we've been around second and third gens, and they're still friendly and helpful. But first gens understand what it's like. They may be a little bit more mean because they understand it. You may not put in the hard work that they did. You may not put in the work that they did. You may not have the level of emotional resilience that they feel like you should have. But at the same time, we know plenty of wealthy people. They'll help you out. Think about the vault. We're sharing the gems over the internet. Why? Because when you get into wealthy environments, we be speaking in code. So we'll say things like, "He who has ears, let him hear." That means not everybody's gonna get it, and we're aware of that. See, we understand human dynamics. We're not gonna sit here and be upset that everybody's not gonna be wealthy. We would love in a perfect world for everybody to be wealthy, but we understand that's not the case. Why? Because you have to choose for yourself. Many are called, few are chosen. You have to choose yourself. You have to call yourself every single day and say, am I going to show up for generational wealth and choose to be wealthy? You have to choose it. Or you could choose to say, I'm about to go sit in traffic and work this job. Okay, great. Nothing wrong with that. That's what you say you choosing to do. Cause you didn't choose to do something else. You didn't decide to do something else and do it. But when you choose to do something else, you're playing to win every single time. You're betting on yourself. When you get the lawyers you can't afford, you're betting on yourself. When you get the accounts you can't afford, you're betting on yourself. When you going after deals, you say, "Oh man, my personal credit score, I don't know how I'm gonna do the deal. My personal credit score is trash." Yes, how you know? You're betting on yourself. Oh man, Trust Christian, I really got to do it that way. You don't have to do anything. But many are called, and few choose themselves. Why would I choose myself, Trust Christian? I'm supposed to be called by somebody else. I'm supposed to be chosen by somebody else. That's all it is. Absconding the responsibility. I'm gonna learn how to discharge, but you didn't choose yourself to learn it. You want someone else to know how to do the discharge for you. Then when we get on the line, oh man, theoretically I know I could do a discharge, but yeah, you don't know how to do it because you didn't invest the capital to learn it. Oh man, Trust Christian, I think I can get it. I'm gonna try to get it. I'm gonna figure it out at one point. Nah, Trust Christian, we around the right people. You gotta get around the right people. You gotta know what you gotta know. Is it that simple? It's that simple. Playing not to lose. You're not gonna write your dreams and goals down tonight before you go to bed. But the ones that's playing to win, they understand that you gotta give your mind, you gotta give your brain, you gotta give the universe a command, a demand, a claim. You gotta claim what you're supposed to have. If you're supposed to have this, you gotta write it down on paper and then you gotta put a date on it. That's what it looks like. We hold people accountable at the vault. That's what you gotta do. You gotta hold yourself accountable. You gotta have somebody else hold you accountable. We got teams that hold us accountable. We were thinking about recently how people say, oh, it's a lonely road. It's a lonely road at the top. Well, if it's lonely, might as well have a board for your company, for the family estate. That's how you plan to win. You surrounding yourself with other winners. I don't know how I'm gonna pay them, Trust Christian in the vault. That's what you're concerned about. Instead of focusing on, okay, let me befriend this person. This person might like me. That's how you know you don't have a right self image. Why would someone not want to work with you? Why would someone not want to help you build your generational wealth if you have the aspiration, if you stepped up and you're going to do the work every day? But they don't want to know. You qualify or you disqualify. Oh, yeah, Trust Christian? Yeah, literally. You qualify or you disqualify. You got to wake up every day and qualify yourself. That's just bottom line. You got to wake up every day and qualify yourself. And once you qualify yourself, then you put yourself in a position where the universe can bring you the things that you need and that you want. That's just bottom line, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't write it down, expect to fail. Just like if you write it down, you can slightly expect to do it. But how are you going to achieve something and you don't even have it written down? That's the case. Oh man, Trust Christian, you don't know. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the environments that we're in, we're not going to say everything's right. You know, you might want to hear that. But in our sector, we brag about assets under management. It shows good fiduciary capacity. It shows good business mentality. It shows that you're a good risk manager. So it is a statement of success when you could talk about what's your net worth or what's your that's why you see Forbes so popular. Why would someone want to promote their net worth? They're showing you how much quote unquote in assets they've been able to accumulate. That's what people brag about. There's not everybody else do that. Some of y'all know, okay, well we want to be private church Christian. I don't want everybody to know. That's fine. Okay. At the end of the day, if you're not gonna do net worth, you're gonna do assets under management because you can still do that as a trustee. But how many people want to talk about assets under management? They don't, because they ain't got nothing of value. Because if you did, you would tell other people, so you can actually say, this is what I'm doing. Now, Trust Christian Vault, we got quite a bit going on, and we are working with some great people. But we want to let y'all know, oh yeah, we're gonna ramp it up for sure. We're gonna ramp it up for sure. There is no, oh, Trust Christian, you didn't tell us about your AUM for all of these years. You didn't tell us the AUM. Yeah, because we wanted to put something out there that it just makes people be like, man, I don't, that's a lot of AUM. When did you start? Exactly. That's all that is. So people want you to jump out the box a little early in the generational wealth game. Oh yeah, I got $5 million net worth. Okay, well that ain't no money to us over at the vault. $5 million is good money, but that's not something that if you want to live off $5 million net worth or whatever, that's great. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about generational wealth at the vault. We're not talking about all this, oh man, if I save up my 401k or something like that, I can save up $5 million. Okay, great. I'll have $5 million worth of value in my 401k or Roth IRA or whatever it is. Okay, great. But for the rest of us that say, I'm going for the M's Trust Christian, I'm going for the millions Trust Christian, I know I'm going for the millions Trust Christian, remember what Trust Christians say. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. And so for that reason, you have to tighten up on your thought process. You cannot have a thought process that, oh yeah, I'm just going to focus on playing to get money. Yeah, okay. Okay. We know people right now that had gold, got in at 1500, got in at 1700, got in at less than 2500, and now gold is over $4,000. And that's all less than 2 years. But y'all want to sit here and talk about, oh, I'm gonna get into this investment, I'm gonna get into that investment. How could you put your money into Bitcoin when it had a 30% drop? And then when you could sit over here in gold, you could have been sitting in gold, just sitting in it. May not have still sold anything. Could have been sitting in gold, dang near gold double on you. What you talking about? But y'all want to sit here and play with this Bitcoin stuff. It's just asinine. It's not even funny. You know what I mean, you don't even know how many people we've lost that have lost money in Bitcoin. And it's just like, really? Straight up. We try to tell people it's a Ponzi scheme. The mentors told us it's a Ponzi scheme. Oh no, it can't be a Ponzi scheme, Trust Christian and Revolt. It's way too many wealthy people in it. Not at all. Warren Buffett ain't in it. What are you talking about? This is one of the greatest investors of our time. Is he in it? Nope. But y'all gonna listen to some guy, Michael said, oh, I put my life into it. Okay, and what business is Bitcoin? It's doing these transactions and all this other stuff and all this other stuff. Okay, and people don't even know how it works, but they say they know how it works. But hey, stock market's still around. Gold done doubled. And Bitcoin done dropped. But y'all wanna sit here and play with the Bitcoin. Y'all wanna play with these cryptos. Like you some venture capitalist or something. You a venture capitalist in the middle class. Yeah, right. That's playing not to lose. I'm gonna go after the bright shiny object instead of actually going after the shiny object called gold. I'm not gonna go after silver. Where's silver at? We got in the silver at $17, $21. Let's see where silver spot price is at today. $80. What are you talking about? How you gonna get into an asset class, daggone class, done went in the past 2 years? Done went from asset class in 2 years, done went from $20 to $80. And then there's a war going on. We ain't even gonna talk about that. We gonna talk about the fact that we done sat in this asset class. It done went from $21 to $80 in 2 years. In 2 years. In 5 years, it's gone from $28 to $80. But y'all want to play around with Bitcoin. It's hilarious. We already know people don't have the right mindset. Hey, it's on them. You have the opportunity not to get yourself blasted in the markets out here and get into something that's actually successful. How many are gonna do that? How many are gonna play to win? Nah, they gonna play not to lose. And that's cool. We already know. It's not as easy as it sounds. It's not as easy as it sounds. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listen to replay. Feel free to reach out Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. We're gonna go ahead and tell the brothers and sisters what playing not to lose looks like before we get off. Playing not to lose is not working together. Playing to win means you gotta do business with your own people. You gotta get over prejudice. You gotta get over ignorance. You gotta get over limited consciousness, limited universal consciousness. These thought processes that don't serve you. Whatever's not serving you thought process wise, you gotta let it go. Bottom line. Oh man, these people don't want to do business with people. Oh man, these people own the media industry. Oh man, these people own all this stuff. They run in the world. Okay, and what are you gonna do? You gonna play not to lose, or you gonna compete and play to win? And there's another thing. Playing not to lose means you not trying to compete. Oh man, Trust Christian, I'm not trying to compete. Then don't. Winning means there's a loser. So if you're going to play to win, that means you're actually playing to win. Not to, oh, if I don't win Trust Christian, we can get a silver medal, or we can get a participation badge. We showed up. Hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in live, listen, replay. For he who has ears, her who has ears, let her hear. Christian at TrustChristian.com. We look forward to hearing from you all. The ones that want to play to win, the ones that are going to take the things, take trusteeship seriously, be accountable to their family estate, and not just, oh, I want to be in a trust, or oh, I just got a trust. They're not talking about it. They're investing in themselves actively. They're investing in their family education actively. They're investing in understanding that you're not supposed to use your own money from the family estate. You're supposed to use other people's money. But how are you going to do that if you don't invest in their education? That's what it is. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. Always appreciate it. Christian at TrustChristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at TrustChristian.com. Peace and joy.